Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next show we have here today, next training actually. My name is Lucas. I'm a technical member of our technical team. I'm technical manager, sorry. Morning, everyone. As more people join, I see. That's very good. So, while we are here today, we're going to talk about the density control solution today. What is involved into that really is the people counting camera. I know if any of you ever install any of those cameras before, but yeah, these are really nice, neat looking cameras. You can usually install them over the door. So I'm just going to show you a few slides first. Then we're just going to move on to like a more hands-on training where I can show you how to set up such a camera and the recorder as well. So let me show you the presentation. Very good. More people is joining right now, so I hope you all hear me well. If you do, just type it in on the web chat, please, on the right hand side, just to make sure you can hear me nice and clear. So, as I said, we're just going to move on to the presentation. So, density control solution. Hikvision come up with this nice solution for all the cameras. I'm sorry, all the people that gathering in shops and so on. It's these days, as you know, there's some limits implemented, so the shops can be overcrowded anymore. Maybe just gonna show you the screen, the full screen, just for a moment. There you go. So the whole overview of this solution, what we have, what we're getting, and how is it all working. So pain points. So in a case when you have like to help to prevent all that virus spreading right now, the Hikvision come up with a solution to actually trafficking people. So you can, instead of having security guard on at the entrance, you can have the system that will actually let people know at the front of the shop at the entrance if they can get in or not, if they can walk in or not. So in that case, what we have here, it's a people counting camera, and there's a few scenarios, a few setups you can have. Obviously it can work in small shop just with one entrance, or with multiple entrances as well. So how is it working? It's just picking up the count of every person entering the shop. That data is stored within the camera. So when you get to the camera settings, you can actually see the how many people entered and how many exited the premises. But the Hikvision come up with this solution that you can have the camera, if you like, standalone, or connected to the NVR, and then if you have it connected to the NVR, you have those more extra features and noise display, as you see on the screen right now. So camera detects people entering and leaving, and it's just taking account. So as if you like to set up the threshold, like how many people is allowed in the shop, you can enter that in the camera settings or recorder settings, and just make sure there will be not more than actual allowance for the shop. So like you see, that is an example of 100 people in the shop. So if the count will reach the 100 people got in eventually, it will just show up the message just to stop people getting in. So you have the single door solution, that's an eco solution it's called, where you have just a simple camera on its own with web browser. It could be an Internet Explorer, IVMS software, or you can have just any DVR or NVR connected to that camera, just to show the camera picture, nothing else. So like you see here on the small screen, I'm going to show you that and maximize later on. You can actually see how many people enter the shop, how many left the shop, and how many is in the shop, and if you should stop, it will flash up the on-screen display in red. If you're allowed to get in, it will just says to, it will change the color to green. But that's the single door solution, which I found it not perfect, not ideal. I would prefer to get the more superb Pro solution. It's where you have the camera on side and iSeries recorder. The iSeries recorder actually has the latest firmware that allow you to take the data of the camera and take the count and actually see how many people got in and out, and you can have that cool display as well on one of your screens. So in the case when you have the people counting camera, with the iSeries recorder, you don't only have to have one camera, you can have multiple cameras. We're going to show you later on how to add them together to the NVR, to the iSeries NVR. So in this case, like you see here, that's a single door still, but you can have the multi-door. So you can have 2, 3 doors in one shop, group all the cameras together. So you just create a group of multiple cameras, and the count of all the cameras will be calculated in the recorder, and the recorder will let people know on the screen if they're supposed to get in or not. It's a real data information, so as soon as someone walk in, the information is sent to the recorder, so the message comes up on the screen instantly. You also have this other solution with the multi-door HikCentral. The HikCentral, there's a version for the HikCentral with that solution as well. You can have multi-doors. Again, you can actually get all the people walking it through the different doors. But in case if you like to have the monitor on each door, then you would need to have some sort of a workstation just to display this message on the screen. So this kind of solution is not expensive. It's good as well, and it also comes with this cool map when you can see how many people walk in each shop. If you like, I can show you that later on. How does it look like? But yeah, it's a cool solution. My favorite, I would say, it's the camera with iSeries recorder, and when you can have multiple cameras connected and count them all from every different entrance in the shop, and it will show you on the screen from the HDMI or the VGA output. It's just an example. I'm going to show you the video of that now as well. So there it is. People are getting into the shop, and what you're getting on the screen of the NVR on the right hand side, how many people got in and how many people exit, and how much more space is available in the shop, so how many is available to get in. And also you have the multi-entrance and exits, so it will count all the people in and out at the same time as a one group. So you can see it's counting every single one of them that enter or exit, and it comes up instantly on the screen. So it's really simple setup. You just in my favorite case is the camera over the door and the iSeries recorder connected to it, with the monitor displaying what is actually happening. The beauty of the iSeries recorder, I'll show you later on as well. You have 2 independent outputs, so you can have all your cameras, the people counting cameras connected, but also you can have the regular cameras connected and display on the regular screen. So it will give you the best of both kind of solutions. So you can still record an image as usual with your cameras, but also you can have this cool solution to display on the screen just the people let in. Like I said, it's real-time alerts. So if you walk into the shop and people counting camera will pick you up, you can trigger the alarm output of the camera itself or of the NVR. So you could have like a traffic lights. You could have connect them to the camera directly in alarm output to dry contact, or to the dry contact alarm output of the NVR. It's a high accuracy because of the deep learning system within the camera. That's why the camera it's standalone system, fully standalone. The pros and cons the standalone system I will tell you in a minute, because it's really important how you're going to manage the system if it needs to be managed in a case if someone just walking in at the back door or something. So the real-time display, as I said before, it's actually going to show you the current readings from the camera. It will show you all the details about how many people is in and out. And where you can install such a camera, like post office, banks, supermarkets, small retail shops, and so on. So everywhere where there's some limitations regarding the people allowing to get into the shop, you can install such a system. But also you can see it's beneficial, not just because of the current state we have right now, that there's not that as many people is allowed to get into the shop, but also for the management, for the security, or whoever manage the shop, and they can actually see how many people is actually in the shop right now. For security reason, it's really helpful. So we're gonna move on to the more hands-on part now. I'm just gonna show you the camera on its own, how to set up that kind of camera. So if you bear with me for 1 second, there it is. So like you see, that's the camera in question. It's just a picture right now of the camera. The camera is already set up, so you can see enters and levers and stays, how many people stays in and how many it's available. You can change the details regarding how many people is available. You can set like 100 people if you like. And as you see here, the message right now, it says please enter. If my count reach the limits, if there will be one more person walking into the shop, it will just display a different message. So I'm just going to show you this configuration of this camera, of this one door solution, and pros and cons of that one camera door solution really. So once we log it into VCA settings, you have this rule where you can set up the region of interest where the people were counted. So I can show you quickly how does it look like. It's just going to be overview over the from the software. So we can I'm just going to disable the privacy mode, so you're just going to see my background for a second. So, and a bit messed down there as well. So this is the region. So if someone is going to walk in, you see the direction here, that's where they enter the shop. When they exit, that's where they exit the shop, if they go other way around, and straight away it will show the count. But because this is the one door single camera solution, you can have that camera in place on its own, but in order to edit in the case if someone entered the back door, so there's no really an option to edit the enters and levers. You can reset the whole clock and then start from scratch, which is not ideal, obviously. But if you have the NVR recorder, the NVR on site, the iSeries recorder, The iSeries recorder is allowing you actually to edit, on the live view, how many people actually enter or leave. So you can use your mouse control to correct actual count of people getting in. By the way, if you have any questions, you can type it in on the chat on the right hand side. So I'm just gonna enable the privacy mode in a second. You can see the people threshold. You can get up to 100. At the moment, I'm just going to put on 2, just so to show you quickly how is it working, how is it triggering. You can auto calibrate this the distance from the ceiling to the floor, or you can manually adjust it. But also you can choose in what direction there's entrance and or an exit. The same as where it's going to be displayed the enters and leavers on-screen display information. But if you enable the privacy mode in this camera, it becomes standalone. But this is a different type of the camera right now. It's a fully standalone camera. As I said, it has its own pros and cons. I love this camera to have it connected to the iSeries recorder, because I can actually adjust how many people get in and out in the case if there's a miscount or someone entered like an exit and a different door, and like it could be a delivery man or so. So in this case, the arming schedule, it's 24/7. You can set a different arming schedule if you like, just when the shop is open if you need to. And linkage method is notify civilian center, that is checked. Data upload, it's really important just to make sure the real-time upload data is enabled. They'll send information about the count to the recorder directly without delay. And the overlay and the capture is just information of how many people got into the shop, and if you like to take a background upload, in the case if there's a regular picture, you can take a snapshot of that as well. But in this case, you don't have to change any settings. Like I said before, there is an option to reset the count. So if I press the reset count, it will just reset all the numbers to 0. As well as you can set the camera for enter or leave only. So if the camera, you have one entrance and one exit, you could have 2 cameras, and one camera is on the entrance, one on the exit. And then you can group them together for the NVR, for the iSeries NVR, and have the proper count as well. And in advanced settings, you can see how people are being detected. In a case there will be a children, you can adjust the exact height, the kind of the threshold when the people will be detected or not. In configuration of such a camera is going to be nothing else, just like an ordinary camera. At the end of the day, you have all the display settings and everything else, just like in an ordinary camera. The OSD settings, so you can adjust where the information will be displayed here on the screen. Please enter and stop. You can change that if you like as well. So that's it. That's the camera on its own. So when I go back to live view, I just go to the main page, and if you have the camera on side, you just enter and leave. So just going to show you quickly. Just going to try to trigger that camera for you. So I just entered the shop or any premises, and now the people available in the shop, I had only 2 people. So in this case, that means the picture is going to display please stop, and you just need to wait for someone to leave the premises now. there you are. I just left, and here you go. Straight away it comes up with the count, and the next person is allowed to get in. So as you see, it's it's instant. The message comes up straight away. But as I said, it's not ideal because the count, you can't edit this count unless you just reset the whole thing. So in this case, it's better off just to go ahead with the NVR. So I'm just logging into NVR that I have here. It's just a regular 8-channel NVR. I mean the iSeries NVR. Tommy, your question, like this camera will detect in both directions. So it will detect in and out at the same time if the people are bypassing each other as well. So now we logged into the camera, I'm sorry, to the recorder. It's like you see NVR 7608 NI-I2 with 8 PoE ports at the back of the recorder. In my case, I just have my camera standalone sitting on the network, but you can also connect that camera to the PoE at the back of the recorder with the rest of the cameras. So once I have this camera added in, like you see, if I go to IP camera configuration, this is my camera and the IP address of the camera. You just add the camera like any other regular camera, ordinary IP camera. Once the camera is added into your NVR, you just go to the camera group configuration, and you just need to add the camera, the people camera to your group. So you need to create a group of cameras. So in this case, I have one camera connected. I have just one entrance. If I would have multiple entrance, I can just have like 2, 3 cameras connected in one group, and the count will be taken from all of them, and it will be counted and displayed on the screen of the NVR. So the group name, I have a test. People limit, I have 2 people just to get in here, and you can select what camera will be a part of the group. Notify Civilian Center if you like to trigger the notifications to the IVMS software, for example, and trigger alarm output. So like you see here, I have the alarm output of the recorder and alarm output of the camera itself. In a case if the red light will come up, the red screen, let the people stop, the relay will close. So if you have the relay connected to any like a traffic light system, it will display the red light, it will hold it, and then when the green light will come up, I mean when there will be less people than limit, it will open the circuit. In order to do that, you just need to make sure that in the event settings, your alarm output, delay is set to manual, just in case on the recorder. The same on the camera itself. So it stays closed or it stays open all the time. So if we go back to the camera management and the group management, so there is, I can reset the count here as well, just like I can in the camera. But I'm going to show you in a minute a better solution how to edit the count. So just I'm going to show you the screen of the NVR itself. So just So there you are. This is our NVR and the camera added into the NVR. So again, if I will go to my camera management, I can see the camera added in, and just like ordinary camera, the camera will be added into the system, and in the camera group I have the same page as I could find it on the screen in the web browser. On the bottom of the page there's an option to enable local display that will actually show you the message on the screen on the main view. So I will show you how it's going to be displayed now directly on the NVR. So once a camera is added in, the camera is added into the group and you have the enable local display enabled, we can just go to the live view. And in the live view, we just need to select group number 1 because that's our first group we created, and we just go with this small tiny man here just to display. So that will show you how many people is actually in the shop right now, how many more people is available to get into the shop. So I'm just going to show you live now how is actually, it's changing now. So I just walk into the shop, straight away the message comes up, just please wait till the light turns green. And now I just walk out, and like you see, it comes up straight away with the message, the next person can walk in. There you are. So in the case if there's some mistake been happen on site, so as I said, someone enter with like a back door, the delivery man just enter on the front but exits at the back or so, and you just need to correct that data. You see, if you go to the camera itself in the live view, there's just a simple PTZ control. And you can manually adjust if someone entered, or with the left button if someone left. And that will automatically adjust it for you and display a different information on the screen. So it's really simple for anyone who it's on site, like it could be any of the management, they can adjust the count if they need to. It's all available locally on the machine. I would say this option will also hopefully will be available to do online via the web browser. The version of the firmware has just been released, so we've been in contact with the Hikvision. We've given some ideas what else can be improved. As you see so far, it's really nice looking solution. All right, so I'm just going to show you one more option. The same setup, but in the HikCentral software. So just so you can see how does it look like in the HikCentral as well. Like display of the main picture. I mean, this green fella or red fella coming up on the screen. That kind of graphics are exactly the same in the I-series recorder on the main display as in the HikCentral. so you're not missing out anything there. If you have the HikCentral. And just looking at the questions here. So like Owen's answering questions as well. So yes, if the camera is high enough, you can change the height in the calibration like you see in the camera. You can actually adjust the zone itself. So you could have a much larger zone if you put the camera high enough, and that will pick it up multiple people going both directions. John is asking about if you can have several groups. So I presume you mean about like a few shops and a few entrances to the different shops, if you can group them together. Like have it 2-3 groups of the system. So if you like to have different groups, this display will only show one group at a time. So I don't know if you notice on the bottom of the page there was a group that you can select and go full screen, and that will show you just one group at a time at the moment. So the best solution I would say in this case is if you have multiple floors or so, you could have multiple cameras with the recorders connected, connect them all together, and then all the data been controlled on the IVMS software. So if you like to view like an overview, I will show you the HikCentral actually give you the overview of how many people it is in each group. So let me show you on the screen here now. So this is our HikCentral. So in the HikCentral you can have multiple cameras, and those cameras you can adjust them and add them to on the floor map of the shop. So like you see here, in this case I have one camera added into the shop here. It's just one entrance, and if there's a person walking in, it will show the exact count, how many people is in that shop. So if you have multiple floors, multiple cameras, and you like to have like more displayed overlay of what is actually happening in the whole building, you might actually go ahead and create multiple groups for each shop, different group, and actually show the exact count in each shop. When you zoom it in, you can see how many people stays in that shop. If you go show full screen, it will actually show that message, the same as you see on the NVR. So in this case, I would say if you have multiple floors, multiple shops, and so on, the best solution would be just to have NVRs and the cameras in the different shops, and then each shop will show you if the people can get in or out. And then if there's a security guard looking at the general view, they can just use the HikCentral software, where all the cameras are joined together, and you can have them listed and see exactly how many people it's in each shop and in general in the whole building. So regarding the cameras, you can contact our sales managers. Your sales managers, basically, they would answer the questions regarding the camera that is available right now in our stock. Those cameras we currently have in stock, they're working with the iSeries recorder perfectly fine. If you're looking for a standalone system, which I don't really recommend, just to have one camera on its own, because of that count. It can be edited or managed somehow. It's just reset the camera, clear all the data really. So if you have the camera from our stock with iSeries recorder, it's going to work as standalone, kind of with the recorder and the camera, but also with the multiple cameras as well. So if you have 2-3 doors connected to that NVR with the camera that we have, you just contact our sales manager, and they're going to get you the price on that. So like you see here, I just implement like the map, the Google map, into the HikCentral. So this is Navan. As you see here, I just zoom it in and to the shopping center, and I have one camera here in one of the shops, for instance, right now. So you could have multiple shops across the island and manage them all and see them all in the HikCentral as well. You can just create different groups for different shops across Ireland if you need to as well. All right. So is there any other questions you have there? Smart RFID, is there an SDK with the camera? I would say it might be there. I would just double check with the Hikvision. If you like, if you can drop me an email regarding this, just a reminder, please. Eden, can you change the wording? As you mean as what kind of wording? As from the main page, or you can only change the on-screen display of the camera? So you can change the wording in the camera itself. The layout and the full screen display of the NVR, it's always the same as it is in the HikCentral. So like, as I show it here. So this option, this page is not editable right now, so you can't change any wording here at the moment. The maximum height, so if we're going to show you here in the rule settings, so if I will go with the calibration, you can see the maximum height is 6 meters for this camera. So like you see, the whole solution, it's really simple. You have the camera and the recorder on site, and that's pretty much all you need, just for a 1 or 2, 3 entrance. Like as I said, you can group all the cameras, whatever cameras you have, and that will work together with other cameras. I mean, it will record the video from every single regular camera, as well as the one from the people counting camera. So if you have any more questions, oh, there is another one. Uh, 1.5 meter social distance. I'm not sure, Aidan, if that's applied here. It's like the camera and the system will just not take the data of how many people is getting in and out. So the distance between people, it would be like, it doesn't measure the distance between them. Like if the people count in camera, it's the purpose of the people counting camera is just to count how many people got in and out. It doesn't distance in the people as not on the fly or anything like that. So in this case, I would say it's just, you can decide how many people can get into the shop, and then they just need to just follow up with the recommendation with that 2 meters 1.5 social distance. All right, gentlemen, but yeah, like you see, this is all it in the camera. It's not much else. Like you said, if you're interested in the camera like this with the recorder, which I do recommend to go ahead with the recorder. It's no point to have the camera on its own, I would say, because of that count that can be edited right now directly on the camera. I would say if you have an NVR, it's going to make your life easier, and it's going to be a great selling point as well, I would say. So if you have any other questions, please email me or contact your sales manager. And thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next time. The weather's supposed to be brilliant today again, 20 degrees, and I'm gonna start up my barbecue soon, so I hope you're gonna do the same. You're gonna stay safe,